Okay, so this is lecture 15 of auditing concepts. This is for subject CAAP. Okay, CMA Intermediate, June 2022 attempt. Okay, so what were we doing in the last lecture, that is 14th lecture? हमने दो important topic किया था. Okay, we had done two very important topics, which was internal check and internal control. These two were the more lengthier topics. Okay, today what we are going to do, we'll complete internal audit and we'll do vouching and verification. Okay, right. So with this, your unit 1 will get fully completed. Okay, and then we'll have to do unit 2, which is company audit. Okay, so taking you to the study material now. One moment. I think I'll have to open it. 1 minute. Let me just open the study material. चलिए, just a second. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this is your internal audit section. So what is internal audit? Internal audit is a type of audit, basically. Okay, whatever is done in auditing, same thing more or less will be done in internal auditing. Okay, only thing is the reporting will not be independent. Management will get the report. Okay, so independently shareholders and others, outsiders, they will not get the report. Okay, the result will be in closed doors of internal audit. Okay, so that's what it's called an independent appraisal activity. Okay, it is an independent. So although while defining we say it is an independent appraisal activity, but it's not that much independent. Okay, because management can get information directly without sharing it with others. Okay, but it is meant to be an independent appraisal activity. Okay, appraisal means uh, to see whether whatever work is going on, whether it is going on properly or not. Okay, so employees at the end of every year, okay, their appraisal is done. That means to show what was their performance compared to what their goals were. Okay, so if you are working or you have worked somewhere, okay, then you would know the word appraisal. Appraisal means when it is seen that how well you have done compared to your standard or your goal. Similarly, it is an independent appraisal activity by which it is seen how well staff of the entity has done. Okay, it is done. It can be done by the staff of the entity. Okay, normally done by the employees. Sometimes some independent professional is hired for this purpose, but he is not like a statutory auditor because he also will report to the management only directly. He will not report to the shareholders and all. Okay. Okay. So why? So what? For what reason are internal auditors appointed? For review of accounting, financial, and other operations and controls. Okay. They review everything, appraise. That is appraisal they will do whether all these controls are as per standards or not. Okay. Okay. The objective of independent audit, internal audit, is to furnish the analysis, appraisals, and all this information, okay, to the management. In the end, whatever result they will get, they will send it to the management. So what will be the opening thing you'll say about internal audit? You have to use the word independent appraisal activity done by the staff or by an independent professional. Okay, for what? Review of accounting, financial, other operations, and report is given to the management. Okay, so management and the Main objective of doing all this thing is to promote effective control at reasonable cost. Okay? This is the main introductory thing of internal audit. Okay. Now there is an Institute of Internal Auditors in New York, USA. Okay. According to Institute of Internal Auditors, New York, the definition is same what we have seen there. Okay. Independent appraisal activity or review of financial, accounting or other operations. Okay. And it is a managerial control. It functions as measuring and evaluating effectiveness of other controls. It just sees whether all other controls are working properly or not. Okay. Okay. So that is your definition of internal auditors, New York. You can write these things in your own words. No problem. So Professor Walter Meigs, he has said that internal auditor consists of a continuous critical review of financial and operating activities. It's a continuous critical review of financial and operational activities by a staff of auditors who function as full-time salaried employees. ये सब more or less एक ही चीजें हैं, okay? ठीक है? So now under section 138 of Companies Act 2013, internal audit is defined. Okay, under section 138 of Companies Act 2013. Okay. So it is required by whom? Such class or classes or companies as may be prescribed. Okay. So as per the rules, if it is prescribed for you an internal audit, so it will apply to that class of companies. Okay. An internal auditor can be CA, CMA or any other professional as decided by the board. So no specified qualification for internal auditor. Okay, okay. And central government will make the rules to prescribe the manner and intervals of conducting internal audit and how it will be reported to the board. ठीक है? ये बहुत simple है, कुछ भी नहीं इसमें. In internal audit under section 138, ठीक है? It will be done by such class or classes of the companies as prescribed by the rules. Okay, and central government can prescribe the manner and intervals of internal audit and when it will be reported. That's all. ठीक है, इतना ही. Okay. चलो, next is according to the Institute of Internal Auditors, ठीक है, New York. Internal audit involves 5 areas of operation. Now this can be a big question of 5 marks. ठीक है. Internal audit involves 5 areas of operations. इसमें जो है इतना सारा डिटेल लिखा है. We don't need all this. ठीक है. इसमें only go by the headings. Okay. 5 areas of operations of internal audit. Okay. By the heading, you can easily write the internal thing. The first is reliability and integrity of financial and operating information. All financial and operating information is reliable. That internal audit has to see. Okay. All kinds of audit have to see the same thing, right? Next is compliance with laws, policies, plans. Compliance with laws, policies, plans, procedures, regulations. Okay. So everything is being complied with, all management policies, plans, okay? All controls. Next is safeguarding of assets. Okay? Safeguarding of assets. To make sure that assets जो है, assets are in good condition. Okay. And they are being used properly. Economic and efficient use of resources. Accomplishing of established objectives and goals for operations. This is the final end. That is the objective of the organization being established or not. That's the last thing it has to see. So these are the 5 areas of operations. आराम से आप अंदर की चीजें आप लिख सकते हो उसमें. ठीक है. Okay. Just आपको you have to see the heading. Okay. ठीक है. The next will is features of internal audit. ठीक है. अब ये बिल्कुल जो हमने पहले जो देखा है, all those things, it is that only, just repacked. ठीक है. This is repacked, so very easily you will understand. It's an independent appraisal activity. ठीक है. Conducted by staff of the entity or independent professional. ठीक है. For review of accounting, financial and other controls. Okay. As a service to the organization and is not part of the organization. ठीक है. Okay, so basically you have to, the organization has to pay separately for internal audit, correct? That's why they are saying it's not part of the regular work of the organization. Okay, so it intends to furnish analysis, appraisal, suggestions and information, okay, for review of the management. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, it's a continuous effort for promoting effective control at reasonable cost. ठीक है, ये जैसे मैंने बोला, we have already seen all these things before. ठीक है, इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है, just repacked as features of internal audit. ठीक है, next is functions of internal audit. ठीक है, so normally bigger organizations and sometimes some medium sized organizations, they find internal audit very useful in addition to external audit. Okay, so internal auditors are employees of the organization and they work for the organization. Even if you are hiring an independent professional, still he'll be reporting to the management and only the management for internal audit. Okay, you can say that they are either owned or hired employees of the management. Okay. Okay, and their functions, so we are talking about functions of internal audit, correct? Functions will be, partly it will overlap with external auditors and partly are quite different. Okay, there in part it will be same as external auditors, okay, and in part it will be little different. Okay, okay, so these are the functions of internal audit. Okay, first one is appraisal functions. Appraisal means just see, check the activities of others. Okay, so appraise the activities of others. So they will not perform data processing. Okay, they'll check others' data processing. Okay, that is called appraisal function. Here example has been given. Person spends time checking employee expense claims is not internal audit. Okay, see, if your work is set up in such a way that some part of your work will be checked by others. Okay, that will be an internal check system, correct? Will not be internal audit. When the whole thing is checked again, whole thing, all the entire activity, okay, that will be independent audit. Okay, not the internal check. Okay, so checking of one employee's activity by another activity in the course of the work, that is not internal audit, right? So internal audit will be done separately. Okay, separate appraisal function. That's what they are calling it as independent appraisal function. Okay. So here in this case, employee spends time reviewing the system of checking employee expense claims. So if the system of checking the system is checked, the system of employee claims is checked, okay, that can be an internal audit function. Okay. So internal audit will be done separately. Just remember, the name is independent appraisal function. Okay, so it will not be done along with the work. Okay, it will be, the checking will be done separately. That's why यहाँ पे क्या लिखना है मेन इतना सारा चीज, all those things you need not write. Just write an appraisal function. Okay, इसको just explain it in a sentence. ठीक है, it is a service to the organization. ठीक है, internal auditor is giving a service to the organization and will be paid for it. Okay, or organization will have to bear the expense of internal audit. Okay, so here management requires that the auditor should ensure, okay, what is the management requirement from internal auditor? He should see that policies are fulfilled, okay, information is effective and reliable, complete. Okay, this information is not only which is provided by accounting system, it can be through some other systems also. Okay, some external data can also be there. Okay, organization assets are safeguarded, internal control system is well designed, internal control system is actually working. Okay, so these are the things. So again, जैसे मैंने बोला है सब, this is all repacking. Okay, ठीक है. So internal auditors activities has to ensure that these requirements are met. ये वाला, this is met. ठीक है? Internal auditor can be seen as the notice of the board within the enterprise. ठीक है? So basically, they will bring various things to the notice of the board of directors. ठीक है? That this is proper, this is not proper. ठीक है? So that they can take corrective actions. Okay. So main difference between internal and statutory auditor is they will not report directly to outside entities. So management will get chance to correct things. In statutory auditors, whatever he has to report to the authorities, he will report it directly. Okay. Okay. There are some other duties of internal auditors. These are थोड़े minor चीजें हैं. Okay. So implementation of social responsibility policies. So management has got some social policies, like they contribute to some, if they are contributing to some, say, old age home or things like that, or they are taking part in some social welfare activities. So he is concerned with the response of internal control system to errors. Whether internal control system is properly reacting to errors and if any changes are required. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे देखिए क्या होता है ना कि actually internal audit is a part of internal control only. ठीक है? It is designed as a part of internal control itself. ठीक है? So it will also check internal control. Okay. ठीक है? Just see how internal control system is responding to external stimuli. ठीक है? External stimuli means any new things which are coming in, and how does internal control system respond to it. ठीक है? If it is not responding adequately, then it has to be upgraded. Okay, then he is acting as a training officer in internal control matters. So anything regarding internal control which has to be done, or employees are not understanding it properly, is also work. He is also kind of a training officer. Okay, as far as internal control is concerned. Okay. Okay, then auditing the information given to the management, interim accounts and management accounting reports. Okay. Basically all internal reports, interim reports, which are not directly checked by external people, internal auditor will report it to the manager. Okay. So and he takes a share of external auditor's responsibility, because if good internal audit and internal control is there, external auditors work reduces. Okay. Okay, and then see that external regulations are complied with in the organization. Okay, ये चीज main है. This is about other duties. Okay, so internal audit में आप देखोगे जैसे mainly it is only one same standard answer which is kind of repacked. ठीक है, इसलिए internal audit में कुछ खास नहीं है. Okay, चलिए next we will talk about the scope of internal audit. Next is scope of internal audit. Okay, so here scope mein main thing is it is concerned with evaluation of both internal control as well as quality of actual performance. Okay, internal. So what is the within the scope of internal control? Sorry, internal audit, evaluation of internal control one, and evaluation of quality of actual performance. Okay, both things they have to see. So scope involves the following. Ye hai scope. Okay. So one is review reliability and integrity of financial and operating information. Okay. Reliability of financial information. Okay, very much there. Then appraise the economy and efficiency with which resources are employed. Okay. Whether there is proper economy and efficiency in which you are employing your resources. Okay. ये है and then ठीक है, see that compliance with policies, plans, procedures, laws are there. ठीक है, systems are such that we are complying with everything. ठीक है, if you see this is also a repetition. ठीक है, given in a different way, but it is also These are also the same points. Okay. Then review the means of safeguarding assets and appropriate and as appropriate verify the existence of such assets. Okay. It comes under safeguarding assets. Okay. So review operations or programs and ascertain whether results are consistent with established objectives or goals. Okay. So just make sure that the objectives are attained. इसको आप short में ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है. Make sure that objectives are being attained. Okay. ठीक है. Then so internal auditing is a distinct function from authorization and recording. ठीक है. It's concerned not only with the examination of transaction as recorded, okay, but also an appraisal function to see how much better it could have been done. And it will report accordingly. Right? So it will not just say that this was not done properly, it will also suggest how it can be improved. This is your scope of internal audit. So if आप देखोगे ये, this is also repacking of what we have studied earlier. Have we points. Internal audit में वही specialty है. You have got 5-6 main points. The same thing will be repackaged as different questions. Okay. Next is need for internal audit. ठीक है. कि क्यों internal audit की जरूरत पड़ रही है? Why is internal audit important? ठीक है. Why? What is the need for internal audit? Need is because of increased size and complexity of business, enhanced compliance requirements. So more compliance is required nowadays. Okay. And the risk management is also very, very important nowadays. Okay. Management of risk, any kind of risk. Okay. So that focus has increased in modern businesses. The risk management and internal controls are required to manage those risks. Okay. Then new business models are arising. Okay. For that, you need good internal audit systems. Intensive use of information technology. Okay. Stringent norms mandated by regulators. Okay. There are various regulators. Okay. And the norms are very, very stringent for that. Okay. For protecting investors. So you have to make sure that your appraisal function is proper. Increasingly competitive environment. Okay. These are all the need for internal audit. Okay. इसमें से आराम से 5 points तो एनी टाइम आप लिख सकोगे. I think. Okay. So internal audit is important management tool because first, okay, this is why it is an important management tools. Again, this message and importance of internal audit, whatever we have studied, same points you can write. Okay. Of course, you don't have to do anything different. So here, these are internal audit ensures compliance of CARO, Companies Auditors Report 2016. It prescribes some compliances. So during internal audit, you can see whether it is being complied or not. Okay. This is one thing. Compliance of accounting standards and policies, reliability of MIS. Okay. Ensures reliability of MIS, standard of efficiency. Okay. Evaluates problems independently and suggests improvement. Makes internal control system effective. Okay. And ensures adequacy, reliability, accuracy, etc. of financial and operational data. It is an integral part of, okay, it is an integral part of management by system. Okay, and it can add valuable assistance to management in acquiring new business, promoting new products, diversification, etc. Okay, because you need to have good control over yourself for diversifying first of all. ठीक है. So ये सब points हैं Whatever earlier points also we have talked about importance of internal audit. Using that you can easily write any 5 or 6 points. Okay, इसको मैंने ज्यादा explain नहीं है कि सब straight forward है. Okay, these are all straightforward points, right? Last is advantages of internal audit, ठीक है, with reference to certain things. One is to the management. Management के लिए क्या importance है? We have already gone through it, ठीक है. Review of overall internal control system, ठीक है. Any deviations, it highlights it, ठीक है. Appraisal of organization structure and MIS, okay, and establishes policies, plans, strategies, ठीक है, which are useful to the management. Yeah, to the management in general. So based on what we have studied, उसी में आप ये बता सकते हो. Okay, you can just enlist importance, advantages of internal audit to the management using whatever we have studied. Okay, and to what is the importance to statutory audit? It evaluates internal control system. So statutory auditor's work is done, half of his work is done because of this. It carries out physical stock taking, counting stocks and all. So stock valuation, the stock statutory auditor can place more reliance on stock valuation. Okay, ठीक है, helps in timely completion of accounts. Okay, and evaluates contingent liability at the end of the year, ensures correctness of financial statements. ये है आपका to the auditor. ठीक है, ये all these are all general points. Okay, which you can easily write. Okay. So last is to the organization as a whole. Okay. Now these are all general points again. Same thing. Okay. Accurate and efficient accounting system, critical review of business performance. Okay. Strict supervision, safeguard of business, suggest ways to improve business, preventing errors and frauds. ये सब जो है, ठीक है. Proper utilization of resources, all that. ये सब all are what we have studied. ठीक है. So organization as a whole मतलब ये तो general हो गया, everything. Okay, it's not specific. All general importance you have to write here. ठीक है. So last, I think ये आपका last point है. Then it next is vouching and verification. Okay. So ठीक है. So here difference, this is the last point. Okay. Difference between format में है, तो ये format is important. Okay. तो ये भी आपका important question है. ठीक है. This is also an important question. So difference between internal audit and operational audit. ठीक है. इंटरनल ऑडिट आपको मालूम है, ऑपरेशन ऑडिट ऑपरेशंस का ऑडिट. ठीक है, कि जो ओवरऑल जो ऑपरेशंस है, बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस जो है वो ठीक से चल रहा है कि नहीं. ऑपरेशन ऑडिट इज नॉट कंसर्न्ड विथ योर अकाउंट बुक्स एंड ऑल दैट. ठीक है, इट सीज द ऑपरेशंस आर गोइंग ऑन फाइन और नॉट. तो वो दैट इज द मेन डिफरेंस. Internal audit is compliance objective. For compliance, you have to do. Operational audit, you have to do for risk identification, process improvement. Okay. Operations are being done in a particular way, but you can improve it. Okay. So then it can be cost efficient and things like that. Okay. So you have internal audit, you have to do for compliance. Wherever there is a compliance objective, there you have to do. Okay. Financial account focus, this is business focus. Audit focus, this is efficiency and improvement focus. ठीक है. Operations, it will talk about different operations. ठीक है, of the business. Say the debt procurement system. ठीक है, तो debt procurement system के बारे में बात करेगा. It will only, ठीक है, it will test the debt, the way are you getting debt at lower rates or not. All those things it will test. ठीक है, if that is the focus, there will be different things in operational audit. Different parts of operations can be studied. ठीक है, इसमें आप you are not studying the records here in operational audit. Okay, this is transaction based, this is process based. You're studying the processes. Okay, policies and procedures, risk management focus. Okay, cost center wise budget monitoring, accountability for performance improvement results. Okay, so this is cost center wise. So internal audit is mostly, it is based on records generally, correct? Mostly records, little bit of other things. Okay. So, and then here focus on policies, transactions, and compliance. Okay. Focus on goal, strategies, risk management. ये आपका operational audit है. These are all short points. ठीक है. Internal audit आपको मालूम होगा अच्छे से, ठीक है. But operational audit you might not be knowing well. ठीक है. इसलिए इसके points आपको एक बार देख लेना है. Okay. So basically, but if you know these points, then इसके साथ link करके you can always get to know these points easily. ठीक है. ओके, इस हिसाब से आप इसको कर सकते हो. Right, this is how you can do it. So internal audit and operational audit. Important. Why important? Because most of the students do not know about operational audit. This term is new to them. If they do not know one term, how will they differentiate? Correct. So which is why this question becomes important. ठीक है. चलिए. The next sub part is vouching and verification. Okay. So ये जो आपका unit 1 है, this is the last topic of unit 1. ठीक है. इसके बाद there is only company audit. Okay. So vouching and verification is the last part. ये भी बहुत important है. Vouching and verification. There are some questions which always come from vouching and verification. ठीक है. और ये है, the spelling of verification is VE. Okay, यहाँ पे E होगा. Okay. Verification. Verify बोलते हैं ना. It comes from verify. Okay. तो चलिए, let's start with vouching. ठीक है. So vouching क्या बोलता है vouching? ठीक है. So whenever you are making an entry, let us say you are making a payment entry in a journal. ठीक है. You are making a payment entry in a journal. ठीक है. So you should have some receipt of it. ठीक है. तो ये क्या बोल रहा है कि for this, for making the entry, you should have some receipt, that is some bill or something, voucher. Okay. So the voucher, in general, voucher क्या बोलते हैं? Any documentary evidence is called voucher. ठीक है. That is, say if you have a small example, I'll give you. ठीक है. An employee has filled petrol in a vehicle. Okay. And he has got receipt from the petrol pump. Okay, that receipt will be a voucher. Okay? Any kind of receipt will be a voucher. Okay, if electricity bill is paid, okay, then the bill, the copy of the bill, that will be a voucher. Okay, so that is called as voucher. So voucher is what? It is a documentary evidence using which you enter it. Otherwise, when you enter amounts in the books of original entry, that is journal, okay, you can enter any amount. So each amount will have some receipt called voucher, okay, based on which you have entered that amount. Chalo. So what is the meaning of voucher? It is a documentary evidence, okay, in the form of a written record of expenditure, disbursement, or completed transaction for anything. It can be not just for payment, for receipt also. You will get a voucher. Okay? Banks have counterfoils and all that. Okay? So any of these things will be voucher, which will evidence that the other party is evidencing that you have made this payment. Okay, or you are evidencing the other party that he has made this payment too. Both are vouchers. Okay. Okay. Examples and types of vouchers. All these are vouchers. Some will be receipt vouchers. Some will be payment vouchers. Cash memo, sales invoice, purchase requisition slip. It is generated within the company. Okay. But it is also a voucher. Purchase invoice, gatekeeper's note, bank paying slip. Okay. Bank statements, minute books. All these are vouchers. Okay. Using which you are making an entry. It is a voucher. Okay. So let us see the types of vouchers. So one is original or collateral vouchers. Original is the primary vouchers. That is the main voucher which you have got. The main receipt is original. ठीक है. If you have taken Xerox or copy of that mail, it will be called as collateral vouchers. ठीक है. And sometimes with the main voucher, there will be some 2-3 small bills also along with it. ठीक है. That supporting documents will also be called as collateral vouchers. ठीक है. So what is collateral vouchers? It can be supporting documents to primary vouchers, or you have taken copy of primary vouchers. ठीक है. Both will be called as collateral vouchers. Okay. Internal and external, जैसे हमने बोला, here we talked about purchase requisition slip. This is an internal voucher. ठीक है. It is generated within your organization, right? If it is generated outside your organization, ठीक है, it will become external voucher. Okay, बस वही है इसमें. Next is discussion is on missing vouchers. This is very, very important from an audit point of view. Okay, if vouchers are missing, then what to do? First thing है इसमें, there are, see, 4 parts में you have been explained this. One is what is a missing voucher, which is straightforward. You know, if there is a transaction which does not have a voucher, it's a missing voucher. Okay, missing voucher कुछ भी हो सकता है. You can have missing cash memo. ठीक है, anything, missing inward challan of goods. ठीक है, any document which you need, okay, for making the transaction, that document is missing. ठीक है, that is called as missing voucher. As ये straightforward A. ठीक है. So point A में कुछ देखना नहीं है आपको. ठीक है, nothing to see in point A. Missing voucher is any voucher which is missing. That's it. ठीक है, 2-3 नाम डाल देना voucher के. ठीक है, any all vouchers which you have seen, you can just put 2-3 names. That's all. That is missing vouchers. ठीक है. Now second case में, why would a voucher be missing? Reason why a voucher will be missing. ठीक है. So this reason is very, very important for auditor. ठीक है. So one can be, first reason is wrong or careless filing. ठीक है, किसी ने while filing it, they just kept it loose. ठीक है, और वो गिर गया. Okay, it has dropped off. That is wrong or careless filing. That can be one. Second is unintentional, or that is non-awareness of statutory requirement. So you didn't know that with this document you have to attach, say, a resolution or something. The employee did not have the knowledge of it, so he didn't attach. Okay, so this is also unintentional. Okay. Third is the most dangerous one. This is to hide misappropriation. Okay, if someone has taken out some money, govern किया है किसी ने, उसको छुपाने का बेस्ट तरीका क्या है? उसका जो सबूत है वो मिटा दो. Correct. So if someone has misappropriated some money, the best way to hide it is to take out the evidence. Evidence is voucher. Okay. So if someone has done misappropriation, he will try to destroy the voucher. So this is the most dangerous one. Okay. So when a voucher is missing, it could be any of these 3. The auditor will have to find out which of the 3 it is, first of all. Because if it is 0.3, then it can be very serious. Okay. So what he should do, he should carefully carry out cross-verification process from other sources and documents. Okay, to form an opinion about missing vouchers. Okay, whether which of these 3 it is. He has to do some cross-verification and then find out. Okay. And if he feels that this is a major point now, there is some major fraud and that has been hidden by this method, then he must qualify his report or give a disclaimer of opinion. Okay, disclaimer of opinion means I cannot give any opinion on this. That's called as disclaimer of opinion. Qualifying means he'll say, apart from this part, other parts are fine, but for this part, I do not have enough evidence. Okay. Or he can also give an adverse report if he's sure that there is something really material going on. Okay. तो ये हो गया. इस तरह से missing vouchers को deal किया जाता है. Okay. That is this point of missing vouchers. Now we are coming into vouching. Okay. So vouching, what is vouching? Voucher is documentary evidence. Okay. So vouching is an audit procedure now. Okay. So vouching is not an employee procedure. Okay. Vouching is an audit procedure. So this will be done by the auditor or the auditing staff. Okay. What they will do, they'll just go to the books of original entry and they'll check whether everything has got vouchers. That is called vouching. Okay. The examination by the auditor of all documentary evidence. Okay. Availability to support transaction. Okay. Of the client record. this is Spicer and Pegler's definition. This is a small definition. आप इसको याद कर सके तो अच्छा है, because it's very simple. Okay, straightforward. Spicer and Pegler is a well-known audit authority. Okay, so इसको if you can learn this, एक sentence पे अगर note on vouching comes, you write this one definition and write little bit other things, then your 5 marks is guaranteed. Okay, ठीक है. So basically यही है, just compare evidence, ठीक है, with your books of original entry, that is vouching. बस ठीक है. Vouching is the essence of auditing or the backbone of auditing. Vouching is the process by which you can make sure that all transactions are authorized transactions. ठीक है. अच्छा, next बात करेंगे teaming and leading method of fraud, or also called as lapping method. ठीक है. Teaming and leading में क्या होता है? See, you have, okay, you have this normally is done by collection people. Okay, people who collect cash. Okay, employees who collect cash. So what they will do is, say in a month they are getting, let us say, 50 bills. Like this, they are getting 50 bills. Okay, and say each bill is of 10,000. So he has used one of these bills. Okay, so he has pocketed the money of one of these bills. 10,000 khali hai uska. Okay. So now what he has done, when so this 10,000, say he has misappropriated this 10,000. What he will do, and now this 10,000 belongs to a customer B, let us say. Okay. So whenever the next payment comes, okay, next payment of 10,000 comes, he will show this as this payment. Okay. Because there are so many bills which keep coming, it will be hard to recognize that he has done this. He's showing other payment as this customer's payment. Then when now this payment is not shown, okay, what he'll do, he'll use the next payment. Next payment, when it comes, he'll show it as this payment. Okay, and then when the next comes, he'll show it as this payment, like that. Okay. And because there are so many transactions, it will be hard to recognize. So this way it gets misappropriated. Okay. This is called as teaming and leading method of fraud. Okay. It's not called as fraud as such. Okay. Fraud is for a big amount. So इसमें सब जो है, normally the amount involved is not too big. Okay. But sometimes it can be substantial. Okay. If there is no proper internal check, and that can become a regular thing. Okay. And many times you do not know that this happened. Even after the employee quits, maybe after 2 years or so, you will come to know that, okay, this has happened. Okay. So it's what is teaming and leading method? It's commonly followed method of misappropriation of cash. They use a word, misappropriation of cash. Okay. By concealing cash shortages. Okay. Shortage, kaisa shortage hua? Because he has pocketed it. Okay. So he's taking some other money and putting it and replacing it. Okay. So the example is the same what I have given you. Okay. So teaming and leading may not amount to fraud, okay, because the amount might not be too big. If it's too big, then it will get discovered, right? Okay. So आप मान लीजिए अगर इसने कुछ 50,000 का गबन कर दिया in one bill, then he needs to get another bill of 50,000 to replace it, right? If he is getting say smaller bills, then he will have problem in covering up. Okay, so which is why it is normally not done for big money. It is done for small money normally. Okay, but negligence, it means management is negligent. Okay, and internal checks are not good. Okay, which is why it is being misappropriated by the cashier or the person receiving the money. बस यही है teaming and leading. You can write it in your own words. ठीक है? Okay, so it can result in huge loss. ठीक है? If not detected. जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि normally it won't enter into too big a loss because it will get detected. Smaller things only it can happen. Okay, but possibilities there if your internal control is very poor, then there can be quite a huge loss as well. Okay, so So auditor has to follow the following procedure for detecting teaming and leading. So this is next we are seeing how to detect it. What is the procedure auditor should follow to detect teaming and leading method of fraud? Okay. So first is cash memos should be consecutively numbered. See, this is very, very important. The way you are preparing the vouchers. The vouchers are prepared in such a way that now every time, see, daily summaries, weekly and monthly summaries are prepared. Okay, that how much payments are done in this week and all those things. So if your cash memos are numbered, then any missing voucher you can easily see. Okay, by numbers. One is saying 1000, 100001, 1002, then but 1003 is not there, 1004. Easily you feel okay, no, something is wrong here. Okay. The easy way to do to detect it is prepare very good numbering of your vouchers. A numbering system, if it's very good, then things like this can be caught. Okay. So reconcile individual cash amounts, okay, with rough cash book. You will have a rough cash book, okay, and then a fair cash book. Okay. So you should reconcile individual amounts with both rough cash book as well as fair cash book. Okay. If there is any problem, then you will be able to find out the difference. This reconciliation is important. Okay. Reconcile rough cash book, okay, and maintain cash book. Sorry, main cash book, rough cash book, main cash book, and cash memos. So you are reconciling it with the cash memos in this point. ठीक है, ये सब चीजें वही है जो हम लोग जानते हैं basically. Okay. So one thing which was different for you is cash memos must be consecutively numbered. This is very important. And reconciliation, to reconciliation, ठीक है, cash amounts with rough cash book and then receipts as recorded in rough cash book, main cash book, ठीक है, pre-numbered cash memos, all these things with counterfoils. So you will have a counterfoil filled in by the customer. Okay. This is basically for banking system and all. So reconcile all these main records with the pay-in slips. Okay. The pay-in slips are not wrong normally because the customer fills it himself. Okay. Third point, main what you have seen, reconcile with pay-in slips. Okay. Okay, ensure whether cash receipts are deposited in the bank on a timely basis. Is there a regular routine of depositing it in the bank? Okay, and determine debtors ledger. Okay, and sorry, examine the debtors ledger. Okay, especially where there are lots of part payments. If there are part payments, then make sure that the debtor has the determined part payments. If not, then there is something to suggest that there is teaming and leading going on. Okay. So in the debtors ledger, you have to check separately if there are part payments. So be alert to that. Okay. And then just obtain confirmation from the debtors from time to time. Okay. To just know how much he has paid. Okay. So with that confirmation, you can cross check all this. So this is teaming and leading method of fraud. Okay. So basically misappropriation. Fraud will be a heavy word for this. Okay. Chalo. The next part is audit of receipts. Okay. ये सब बहुत simple type के questions होते हैं. Okay. So one step, if you understand, that is, for example, first we are seeing cash sales. Okay. If these steps you understand, okay, you can write for any receipt. Okay. All receipts are more or less the same. Okay. Some point will be different, but 80% points will be same for receipts. Okay. Similarly for expenses or expenditure. Okay. So first thing jo rahega, if you get a question for audit of cash sales, okay, about 5 marks questions you will get. Okay. Only two examples you have been given here: cash sales and sale of assets. In both cases, you are getting money in, so which is why it is a receipt. Okay. See, first step dono mein, ensure that internal control is in place. ठीक है, यहाँ भी ensure that internal control is in place. First point you have to just write that internal control should be in place. ठीक है, and then here examine few bills to check accuracy of rate, amount, discount, tax. ठीक है, in sales, in the bill everything is there, right? Whenever you take a bill from a shop, you have rate, amount, discount, tax is also there, GST. Okay. Okay, all these things are there. Just he has to check a few bills and he will get to know how it is being done. Okay. And then he can examine cash sales summary book. If there are too many transactions, he can just check cash sales summary book. Okay. And he can need to verify cash sales with carbon copy of cash memos. Okay. Just see the cash memos and check it with cash sales. Okay. Okay, and just also make sure the dates. Okay, the date on the cash memos. Okay, date on the cash memos is entered correctly in the cash book. Sometimes you can have some teaming and leading and all also with reference to dates. Okay, so you have to make sure that dates are properly entered. Okay, and wherever if it is a hard copy statement, if any date is inserted in between, then also you will have to be careful. Okay, it means that that entry has been done at a later date. Okay, that's why. Examine system followed to deposit cash sales in bank account. Verify it with bank statement. Then cancelled cash memos. This is very important. Okay, anything which is cancelled or entered at a later date, okay, there auditor has to be more careful. So make sure to just compare it with the original copy and make sure that there is no misappropriation. Okay, so has to be careful with that. Yeah, main points of cash sales. So you can write it in your own words. 4 to 5 sentences on audit of cash sales is very, very important to very, very easy to write. Okay, then sale of assets also, as at first start with, ensure that internal control is in place. Okay, right? And next thing you have to see is whether it is direct sale or agent sale, sale by agent. Okay, if it is a direct sale, then check the amount is collected. Again, proper receipt has been issued. You can compare with the receipt given and check the amount collected. For agent, just see the terms and conditions of the agent. Based on that, you will be able to compute. Okay. Yeah, and then another thing is you have to see the sale value of assets, whether it is reasonable or not. If it is too high, then there can be some misappropriation. Okay. And check that amount of sale proceeds is duly accounted for. Okay. So whatever is the sale proceed, all entries wherever required, they'll be properly made or not. And the profit and loss on sale of assets should be present in the financial statement. That also you have to check. Okay. This becomes your audit of receipts. Okay. Now next is what? Expenditure. Okay. Audit of receipts, as I said, you can just prepare with one set. Okay. Based on that, you can write. Little bit changes there, but overall, you can use 60 to 80% of general format of receipts in any receipt. Okay. Chalo. Next is audit of expenditure. Okay. One here, first part is transactions with directors. Okay. So first section 188. Section 188 is related party transactions. Okay. If director has any contract or any transaction with relatives, the company has any transaction with relatives of the director. Okay. Then see that provisions of section 188, that is related party transactions, are adhered to. Okay. And disclosure of interest by director, just see. Okay. If wherever in any contract or agreement the director is interested, has he expressly mentioned that he is interested? That is, has he disclosed his interest to the company at the board meeting? Okay. He has to disclose his interest. Okay. That is very, very important. If not, then that decision becomes shady. Okay, that's why it's very important to check this thing. And third one is specifically remuneration paid to directors of public companies or subsidiaries of public companies. So this remuneration has to be as per provisions of section 197. So just have to check that if remunerations are within those limits. Okay, ये है audit of expenditure में, this is transactions with directors, these three. Okay, and then next is payments for acquisition of assets. So you have bought assets. Okay, first again, for anything, any major payment, major receipt, see the authorization. Okay, so whether there is proper authorization, okay, to buy that asset, right? And then check ownership, whether ownership, that is, there are title deeds, proper title deeds for immovable properties, and if it is a movable asset, then has the asset been registered in the name of the company or whichever entity the purchaser is. Okay, so just make sure that ownership name has been transferred. First is authorization, second is ownership, third is existent. Make sure that although the balance sheet is showing that asset, is that asset present? So that you will have to check existence, value, and title of assets. Okay, so basically this existence of asset, it comes under verification, which is the last subtopic for us. Okay. So last 2 points here are, one is compliance with section 179. Just in case of a company, make sure that section 179 is complied with. Section 179, okay, just shows the powers of the board. So board's power should not exceed that. That's why you have to see that. You have to check section 179 to see whether for any transaction the board has exceeded its powers. Okay, board के powers exceed नहीं होना चाहिए, right? And then for capitalization of assets, okay, so see that it is properly capitalized. All capitalized assets which are to be capitalized should be capitalized. Cost for bringing asset to present condition, location, all that should be capitalized. Okay, and any credits on the asset, any credit, okay, there's taxes which are recoverable, okay, any kind of credit, okay, that should not be part of cost of asset because it will be recoverable. Okay, that's all about your expenditure here. Okay. So the last part is verification of assets and liabilities. So this verification process is done only for assets and liabilities. Okay. So इसमें जो है, so before this we have seen vouching. Okay. Vouching में you get arithmetical accuracy. Okay. You can see, okay, you have the voucher and that has been entered correctly, but that is not enough. Okay. So auditor has to find out whether the asset is physically there. Okay. He has to see that it must be physically present. It's possible that all entries are proper, but the asset was sold later on and they have not made any entry in it. Okay. So to arrive at what is the main goal of auditing? True and fair view of the state of affairs. Okay. So if the assets are not existing, or the liability is not existing, or is over or understated, then the balance sheet will not show true and fair view. Okay. That's why you have to verify assets and liabilities. So in short, layman language, if I tell you, okay, verification means to find out whether assets and liabilities are actually of that amount. Okay, when physically verified. Okay, that is called as verification. So, okay, and यहाँ पे, if the auditor does not verify assets and liabilities, then he is liable for negligence. Okay, so इसके ऊपर you've got couple of case laws. One is, this is a very old law, London Oil Storage Company Limited versus CR Haslak and Company. Okay, very old case law. Okay, here it was held that if the auditor fails to verify existence of assets shown in the balance sheet. Assets are shown in the balance sheet, the auditor did not verify it, then he is liable. Okay. This is another case law, okay, where it was held that, okay, if the auditor fails to detect time barred debts within schedule of debts, that is, he has checked schedule of debts, but some debts, okay, had to be paid within time. Okay, there was some time bar to it. He did not see that. So he was held to be liable. ठीक है, ये है. और यहाँ आपका again for verification you have got Spicer and Pegler's definition. So it says an inquiry into the value, ownership, title, existence, possession, and presence of any charge on the assets. ठीक है. So although this is basically definition focuses on assets, within verification procedure, verification of liabilities also comes. Okay, okay. So yes, and according this is another definition. It says that verification is a process by which auditor substantiates the accuracy of the right hand side of the balance sheet, and it has three main objects: verification of existence of asset, okay, that the asset is really existing, okay, and it is existing, but the value is also proper, valuation is proper, okay, and it was bought with proper authority. Three things have to be seen in verification of assets, okay. So then in meaning may all these things, it is the same thing, okay, what we have just discussed. So verification means what? Proving the truth, okay. He as auditor has to see that assets as recorded in the balance sheet actually exists. Okay, so यही चीज है जो मैंने आपको बताया. The entry might show that assets are existing, but actually it is not there. Okay, that is what is seen in verification. Okay, or it is possible that assets have been disposed of, pledged, or mortgaged. Sometimes assets are there. Okay, assets are there, but they have mortgaged it. Okay, so in that case also, that charge has to be brought to book, correct? Okay, so yeah, all these things have to be, these are part of verification of assets. Okay, so just to see asset appearing in the balance sheet actually exists or not. इसके साथ साथ जैसे मैंने बोला था, verification of liabilities is also a part of verification. ठीक है, it's as important as verification of assets. ठीक है, see whether they are overstated or understated, because in that case balance sheet will not represent true and fair view of the state of affairs. ठीक है, so short में, okay, what is the function of verification? This sentence is the main sentence. Verification is a function of examining assets and liabilities. Okay, ठीक है, what do you verify? Value of the assets, ownership, title, existence, ठीक है, that the asset is there, okay, it's not a ghost asset, possession, and see whether assets are free from any charge. ठीक है, तो this ये है, this is the process of verification in short. इस सेंटेंस को लेके आप आराम से लिख सकते हो वेरिफिकेशन के बारे में. ओके, you can easily write using this sentence. Okay, so and then the importance of verification, it's important for both the auditor and the client. Okay, because if verification is not done, you cannot say the balance sheet shows true and fair view. So auditor's objective is also not fulfilled, and the client's objective is also not fulfilled. Okay, it's important for both of them. Okay, importance of verification is shown as below. Okay, one is it shows importance of verification, true and fair view of balance sheet. Okay, valuation is proper, and there are no omissions. ये तीन चीज आप अंदर का चीज you can write it. ठीक है, just ये सब extra चीज अपने को पढ़ना ही नहीं. You have to focus on the main point and you have to write it. Auditing में you have to do like that only. ठीक है. Okay, so ये थी ना importance of verification. Now scope of verification पूरा repetition है. Okay, it's again the same thing. Okay, scope of verification. confirming whether assets were in existence on the date of balance sheet, assets were acquired properly for business use, okay, and they were acquired under proper authority, okay, and the right of asset ownership is vested in the enterprise, they are free from any charge, properly valued and disclosed in balance sheet. So यही तो हमने पढ़ा है अभी तक, right? So in scope of verification you have nothing new, just write down the same thing, okay, about verification. Okay, what about assets also, about liabilities also, you can write one sentence. Okay, so basically that sentence which I showed you, right, ऊपर जो बताया था मैंने, that is the key that you can write in scope also. Okay, okay. Objects of verification. Okay, what is the objective of verification? यहाँ भी सब वही है, ठीक है, same things are repeated. See whether balance sheet exhibits true and fair view. Okay, find out whether assets exist, find out ownership and title, correct valuation, arithmetic accuracy of books of accounts. Okay, whether assets have been recorded properly, detect fraud and errors. Okay, if there is adequate internal control regarding acquisition, utilization and disposal of assets. ठीक है, तो क्यों इसको बस मैंने फास्ट पढ़ दिया, क्योंकि ये वही चीज है जो हम पहले देखते आ रहे हैं. ओके, ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ वेरिफिकेशन आल्सो यू विल हैव टू राइट द सेम थिंग बेसिकली. ठीक है, तो वही चीज है इसमें. एंड देन एडवांटेजेस ऑफ वेरिफिकेशन. ठीक है, अगेन ओके, फर्स्ट इसमें दो चीज देखेंगे. फर्स्ट, एडवांटेजेस टू द क्लाइंट. ओके, सो अवॉइड्स मैनिपुलेशन ऑफ अकाउंट्स, गार्ड्स अगेंस्ट इम्प्रॉपर यूज ऑफ एसेट्स. ठीक है, एसेट्स का इम्प्रॉपर यूज नहीं होने देता है. There's no manipulation. ठीक है, and ensures proper recording and valuation of assets. Okay, exhibits true and fair view. So more or less if you see, all are, ठीक है, वही चीज प्रोसेस होके आपको यहाँ वहां सब डाला जा रहा है. सेम core is the same thing is put here. Okay, in verification. So technique of verification, this is different. ये समझना है कि ठीक है, ऑडिटर में अडॉप्ट द फॉलोइंग टेक्निक्स फॉर वेरिफिकेशन. ठीक है, ये भी ऐसा कुछ नहीं है जो हम नहीं जानते. ओके, दिस इज अगेन सेम थिंग व्हिच वी नो. वन इज इंस्पेक्शन, फिजिकल इंस्पेक्शन ऑफ एसेट्स. ठीक है, काउंटिंग कैश एंड मेजरिंग इन्वेंटरीज, लाइक फिजिकल इंस्पेक्शन. ऑब्जर्वेशन मींस inspection is done by someone else and auditor is observing it. ठीक है, that is observation. Confirmation means, ठीक है, he'll obtain written evidence from outside parties. Like he'll obtain confirmation from debtors and creditors, what is the balance as per them, and then he will compare. Okay, so these are the three techniques of verification: inspection, observation and confirmation. Okay, okay, chaliye. So then next is how to conduct verification work. How to do verification. Again इसमें जो है ना, बिल्कुल जो हमने पढ़ा है वही चीज रिपीट होगी. The last thing in this chapter. Okay, whatever we have studied, the same thing will be repeated here. How to conduct verification. ठीक है, examine documentary evidence and see that assets are properly recorded. Okay, yeah, so this point is different. Verify the opening balance from the schedule of fixed assets. Okay, everything starts with the opening balance, correct? You'll go on checking everything looks right, but if there is error in the opening balance, then there will be falsification. So that's why make sure that you start verification with the opening balance. Okay, so acquisition of assets on the basis of orders, invoices, you have to check whether proper amount has been entered. Verify the self-constructed assets constructed by themselves, that will be based on contractor's bill, etc. Okay, right, because they have not purchased it, they have constructed it. Ensure that fully written off fixed assets are recorded properly. You are writing it off properly. Okay, that there is authority of disposal. So there has to be authority both for purchase and also for disposal. Okay, follow a proper procedure to ascertain omissions. If there are any omission, you should have a good developed procedure to find out. Okay, like one way, as we said, that all memos and all should be serially numbered. That's a good way to find out. Okay, verify ownership of fixed assets on the basis of title deeds. Okay, verify existence of assets, if they are there. physically present or not. Okay, test check records of fixed asset with physical verification reports. Okay, the record ledger balance of fixed asset with whatever physical verification you have done. Just you have to reconcile both. Okay, this is how verification work is done actually. Okay, इसमें आप देखेंगे mostly it is the same thing which we have studied, okay, before in the chapter. Okay, see whether assets are charge verification of charge, this also we have seen. Okay, so loan agreements, register of charge, board resolution, everything you should check to see if any asset has been charged. Okay, you should keep in mind the following points while verifying assets and liabilities. Okay, lastly, remember these points: whether assets and liabilities are properly traced from ledger to balance sheet. They are properly moving from ledger, they're purchased, recorded in the ledger, and properly same amount is moving to the balance sheet. Okay. Okay. Assets are acquired for the business and liabilities got created for the purpose of business. Okay. Make sure that it is not for personal purpose. Okay. No personal asset is recorded as business asset. Okay. They have to be properly grouped under heads in balance sheet. Okay. Whether they are in actual existence, that would be a main thing. Okay, this is the main thing. Whether along with ownership, the possession of assets lies with the client. Okay, so ownership and possession both. Okay, that is also we have seen before, right? So whether assets are properly valued in the balance sheet. This also valuation is important. Okay, for valuation, auditor many times has to use the services of experts because he himself cannot value. Okay, so whether liability in the balance sheet tallies with the confirmation certificate. Confirmation certificate is he has returned to the debtors, creditors, right? They have confirmed it. So what amount they have confirmed, does it tally with the ledger balance of liabilities? Okay, that he has to see. चलो इसके साथ आपका section 1 is complete. Okay, this is fully complete. ये जो last में the true or false and these objective questions last wale, just do it. As I'm telling you, even now 30 to 40% get repeated from here, and time and again I keep on repeating this. Just take some time and quickly go through this. Okay, ये सारे जो whatever you have at the end of the chapter, these multiple choice questions, all this, go through that. Okay, that is the first section is completed. Okay, you can easily, you will be of the 50 marks of audit, you can easily attempt about 25 marks easily now using the first one, maybe a little more also. If you use the options properly, maybe you can use up to 30 marks. Okay, next section is audit under Companies Act. This is the last section of auditing. Okay, chalo.